Anna Shcherbakova thanked the spectators of the Russian Grand Prix stage in Ufa. The Olympic champion performed a demonstration number at the opening of the first stage of the Grand Prix. Shcherbakova presented the number to the music from the movie 17 Moments of Spring. "Thank you, Ufa," the figure skater wrote, posting a fragment of her performance on social media. A video in support of Kamila Valieva, who in a month will have to take part in the continuation of hearings of her case on a possible violation of anti-doping rules, was placed on the big screens of Times Square in New York. The action was organized by 3 fans of the Russian figure skater from her official fan club in China. They also fully paid the rent themselves. The video compilation included the brightest moments of the athlete's career. "We see Kamila at different stages of her career and remember the emotions, the joy she gives us with each of her rides. This is truly a manifesto of love for Kamila, for her talent, beauty, strength and resilience," wrote in the support group of the figure skater. Meanwhile, Tatiana Tarasova called Valieva the best figure skater in the country at the moment. According to the celebrated coach, the 17-year-old athlete can compete only with her training group friend Adalia Petrosian. Adalia has a very difficult, technical, very good program with 2 quadruple jumps. I think she can be called Valieva's main competitor in the season, Tarasova's Sovietsky Sport quoted Trusova as saying. On October 9, another statement of the International Skating Union was published. The text is the same: the International Skating Union supports Ukraine, including financially, and reiterates its sympathy and solidarity. It continues to follow the situation in Ukraine and its impact on the activities of the ISU, as well as decisions and their implementation within the Olympic movement. The decision to suspend Russia and Belarus remains in force. We had reasonable grounds for returning Russian athletes to the ice. Although hopes for a positive decision were modest, they still existed. Importantly, the International Olympic Committee, IOC, had recently expressed approval of the recommendations that more and more international federations had begun to apply. Another important aspect was the financial problems of the International Skating Union, ISU, which the organization recognized from last year's results. ISU made no secret of the fact that these financial difficulties were due to the lack of participation of Russian strong athletes in competitions and the non-payment of funds to Russia. However, despite the existing grounds, the ISU Council showed no desire to make a decision on this issue. It is important to note that the issue of the return of Russian athletes to the ice was not even discussed, although it was on the agenda of the meetings. Nikolai Gulyayev, president of the Russian Skating Union, expressed his disappointment, saying that the situation has become so unacceptable that it can be called an outright mess. Unlike summer sports, winter sports are in no hurry to change existing practices. Some federations show only formal compliance with IOC recommendations regarding the return of Russian athletes to competition, while they are slow to develop criteria. Recently, the FIS refused to return Russian skiers. The IBU is not even considering discussing this topic, and the FCD asked the EF to allow junior national teams to participate under its banner, but was refused. Over the summer, many experts and coaches hoped that the ISU might go the route of allowing juniors to compete, even if adult athletes are not returned to competition. Russia has made a significant contribution to the development of winter sports, and a high level of competition among juniors could help develop the sport. However, such a decision was never made, neither in the summer nor now. The International Skating Union decided not to stand out with a special decision and thus closed the season for Russia. Although the ISU Council may meet in a few months and discuss the issue of Russia's admission again, it will no longer affect the participation of Russian athletes in the main competitions of the season. Alexandra Trusova was thrilled with her performance in Yevgeny Plushenko's Magic on Ice show in China. Fans flooded the Russian rocket with flowers and gifts, and she herself revealed herself in a new way in the performance to the song Cuckoo performed by Polina Gagarina. It was an unforgettable 3 days. I'm very happy that I rolled the Olympic Cruella again in Beijing and that I presented a new demonstration number. Thank you very much to Nikita Mikhailov for staging this program. Not all surprises could be shown in this number due to restrictions in China. Wait for something else interesting, the vice champion of the Beijing Olympics wrote in her Telegram channel. And on her return from China, the figure skater pleased herself with a luxury gift, a premium Geländewagen SUV. The cost of such a car varies from 20 million to 30 million rubles. I finally bought the car I really wanted today. What a beauty, admired the athlete, demonstrating the interior of her new Iron Horse on the video. Pyeongchang Olympic champion Alina Zagitova drives a similar model. It was on this car that she recently violated traffic rules by driving through a red traffic light and filming it all on video. We can only hope that Trusova, who received her driver's license last August, will be a more disciplined driver. Yevgenia Medvedeva spoke about the suspension of Russian athletes from tournaments. Specifically, it did not affect me, as I have not been in big sport for 3 years. To some extent I was even lucky that I came out in time, finished and started doing other things. Russian athletes have basically lost the opportunity to prove themselves. We are not talking about money, we are not even talking about any material compensation. Professional athletes who laid down their lives unselfishly, not for money. Imagine that you have spent 20 years of your life to become an Olympic champion, to win prizes at world championships. And you are simply told, you are great, but I, the uncle in the International Olympic Committee, tell you, no. For the first time in the Olympic movement such a large-scale culture of cancellation, said the two-time world champion in the show Best Commentary on her YouTube channel. Tatiana Messina reported that Elizaveta Tuktamysheva plans to compete. Tuktamysheva is announced for the Grand Prix stages and the Plushenko show, but some dates overlap. Will Lisa go to both competitions or not? Lisa is going to go to all competitions. It is in her plans and priority further on. There are no other plans. I don't know if there is an agreement that Lisa can skip the show. Anyway, the organizers of the show regulate the dates of those who participate in the starts. Everything should be fine, Messina said. ISU has tightened the conditions for transgender people to perform in women's competitions. The new rules apply to figure skating, short track speed skating and speed skating competitions. Previously, transgender people needed to maintain a testosterone level of 5 mol/L or less in the last 12 months to compete in women's competitions. Now their testosterone levels must be below 2.5 mol/L for 24 months. If an athlete changes gender before the age of 12, they then need to keep that testosterone level for 12 months instead of 24 months to transition into women's competition. After transition, such athletes will be required to maintain a low testosterone level and be tested every month by accredited laboratories. If the eligibility conditions are violated or if the athlete fails to provide the data required for monitoring in a timely manner, the athlete's results will be invalidated and the athlete will be banned from competing in women's competitions for 24 months, post-puberty.